Hey you guys, people often ask me about my animation, what software I use and stuff like that, so here's a short video about my animation process. Let's take a look at one of my short videos, my winning entry for the Film Fight's Cinco de Mayo haiku contest. This film needed to be just 3 shots, 2 of 5 seconds and 1 of 7 seconds long. Once I've thought up my idea, I don't usually script or storyboard an animation this short, but I will sometimes act it out so I can get an idea for the timing of the action. Then once I've made any sets and props I'll need, I set my scene and lighting and then position my camera. I make sure my tripod is stable and isn't going to get accidentally knocked when shooting, and I'll use a remote so I don't have to touch the camera once it's set up. I set my Canon 600D to movie mode so that I have the correct aspect ratio, then manually set the exposure and focus. This may seem obvious, but if you forget, there's nothing more frustrating than your camera refocusing halfway through shooting, or ending up with a strobing effect because of automatic exposure. Then I set the remote so it takes stills rather than video. When shooting, I'll take a simple tally of how many still frames I've taken. The usual frame rate of a film is 24 frames a second, but you can use less in animation and still give the illusion of movement. I usually work to 12 frames a second, so I know my first 5-second shot needs to be comprised of 60 still images. Having acted out the action, I know what needs to happen by the end of each shot, so move my characters accordingly. I don't use animation software, so once I'm happy I've got all the stills I need, I import them to my computer, putting the stills for each shot in a different folder. I then open up my editing software. I use Magic's Movie Edit Pro MX Premium because it's affordable and I've always used Magic software, so it's what I'm used to. Anyway, I bring my stills into the timeline by highlighting and dragging them, then trim each photo down to 2 frames in length. I check the playback, and if everything went well the shot is done. But occasionally I may need to change something, like in my other little Star Wars animation R2-D2. The R2 figure I used didn't have a moving head, which was something I felt was missing, so I took some of the stills into my photo editor, cropped out some heads that were in different positions, and laid them over the frames in which I wanted the head to move. As you can see from the comparison shots, I think it worked quite well. So anyway, once I'm happy with how everything looks, I'll build up an audio track with sound effects, audio I've recorded and some music, and I'm done. I hope you've enjoyed this little insight into my animation. My process is by no means perfect as I'm self-taught, but I'm always looking for ways to improve. So let me know how you go about doing stop motion animation in the comments below. Thanks for watching.